Just finished the first half of my run here. No, oh man. Now I'm making this video to talk to you about failure, right? Messing up, making mistakes, and especially when it comes to self-improvement, making mistakes and stumbling and falling, it's gonna happen, right? There's gonna be mistakes made. You're never gonna be perfect, right? And I'm gonna be completely honest here, right? I have been making mistakes on my self-improvement journey lately. I have been stumbling. Some might say I've fallen, right? The big defining point of my self-improvement journey for a long time has been quitting social media and dopamine detox and not being addicted to scrolling and content. And lately, my content addiction has really come back to bite me, right? Sorry, I keep rubbing my face. There's the mosquitoes. Yeah, so it's been bad, right? I mean, I've been scrolling. My screen time is almost 5 hours every day, which for some people it's not that bad, but for me that's pretty terrible. And it's been annoying. It's been rough. I'm definitely starting to notice the lack of mindfulness that comes with spending lots of time scrolling. The lack of focus has really been killing me, and yeah, it's just not been great. But I have learned from that. This morning, I ended up watching a 30-minute YouTube video without even realizing I was watching a 30-minute YouTube video. It was bad, right? My attention has been pretty horrible, and my self-improvement has been slacking quite a bit because of it. And it reminded me this morning how important it is to be grateful for your failures, to almost enjoy the fact that you're making mistakes, because there's a reasoning behind every time you mess up. There's a reasoning behind all your failures, and so you can learn from them, so you can grow from them, right? The best teacher is failure, as they say. And sorry, I'm a little out of breath. Right? I've realized that every time I mess up, I need to recognize that in the end it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I'm messing up. It's a good thing that I'm making a mistake. And it's just an excuse to go, to not try. It's not an excuse to say, oh, well, I could not eat this junk food, but I'll be grateful for my failures if I do, so I'll just eat the junk food. That's silly. But just understand that when you make a mistake, in the end, it's ultimately a good thing. In the end, it's actually good for you to make that mistake, right? And how you can make that mistake good for you, because you actually do have to try, is recognize that you made a mistake. And instead of being upset that you made that mistake, try to think about why you made that mistake, where you can learn from that mistake, what led you down this path, right? Maybe even journal about it, get a piece of paper and write down, what was I doing today that led me to make this mistake? What have I been doing for the past month that has led me to make these mistakes, right? And you can grow from that, you can learn from that, and you can make it so you no longer make that mistake as often, right? That's the power of self-improvement. That's the power of changing your life and constantly striving to become a better version of yourself, is that mistakes end up becoming something to strive for, right? I am honestly glad that I have been scrolling for 5 hours a day lately. I'm happy about that now, because I'm now able to grow and learn from that mistake, right? I'm able to understand why I was making those mistakes, why I have not been as mindful as I usually am, why I have not been as focused on my self-improvement as I usually am lately. And that's how I'm able to grow and become a better version of myself, right? Yeah. Grow from your failure, right? I mean, It was in one of my favorite movie franchises of all time, The Dark Knight. I know it's pretty cheesy, but whatever. Just like, was it Thomas Wayne, I think, told his son Bruce, why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up, right? That's the point of making mistakes. God, in this infinite wisdom, if you might think, mistakes are all bad, right? Well, if he was building humanity, if he was building our daily lives based off of what we want, he would make it so that we never made mistakes, right? So we were perfect all the time. But God knew in his infinite wisdom that mistakes and failures and stumbling and falling is ultimately what makes life interesting, what helps us to learn and become better versions of ourselves, right? That's the power of God's wisdom, right? That's the power of failure. Because failure in the end isn't really failure by our definition. Failure is a tool for success. If that makes any sense. So don't be afraid of messing up. And if you do mess up, it's okay, right? Understand that every time you fall, every time you make a mistake, it's for a reason, right? Every time you have a success or a win, it's for a reason. And every time you fail, it's supposed to happen, right? So in the end, we are truly successful. So keep growing, keep working. Don't be afraid of fail. That's all I got for today. God bless you. Stay wild.